So lately, I've been getting a lot of questions regarding Social Security and whether or not people that are receiving Social Security benefits should file their taxes for this coming year. Now, I want to address that question in today's video. First, I do have one thing to point out. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a tax expert. Okay? Keep that in mind. What I'm giving you, this information I'm giving you, take this and then decide with a CPA, with a licensed professional, whether or not you should actually file taxes. Now, a few things matter. First off, your age makes a difference. Your marriage status and your income, they all matter when it comes to whether or not you decide or are you required to file your Social Security or file taxes based off of your Social Security benefits. Now, if you do need to file, you need to do so before April 18th of 2023. Now, there are a couple other things that you need to consider because there is an income threshold. If you make more than that, you are required to file your taxes. Now, here's one thing I just want to say. If you are potentially going to get any money back, then it doesn't make a lot of sense why you would not file if the amount of money that's going to cost you to file, if it costs you anything, which it shouldn't, but if it does cost you any money, you should be able to get more money back as a refund. So even if you're getting $100 or $200 back as a refund, in my opinion, you should go ahead and file because then you would get more money out of it. So why wouldn't you do it, right? Now, let's address these income thresholds. First off, here's what we know. It's $25,000 for a single filer, someone that's head of household, or a qualifying surviving spouse. If you make over $25,000 per year, then you are required to file your federal tax return. It's $25,000 for people that are married, however they are living separately, so apart from their spouse in 2022. It's $32,000 for married couples that are filing jointly, and it's actually $0 for married people filing separately if you've lived with your spouse. Okay? So they got a bunch of different thresholds there. Now, any form of income, okay, any form. This means income from wages, it could be self-employment, it could be interest or dividends, and Social Security. It all adds up. Okay, it all adds up. You have to include all this. But I want to read you this. Your Social Security benefits may be taxable if 1/2 of your Social Security benefits plus all of your other income is greater than the base amount. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's say you made $30,000 from wages and you made, let's say, $18,000 from your Social Security, or let's say $20,000 from wages. You're married, you're going to file jointly. You made $20,000 from your wages, and on top of that, you made $18,000 from your Social Security benefits. $20,000, you take 100% of that, plus you take half of your Social Security benefits, which if you got $18,000, then it would be $9,000. So it'd be $29,000 that you would have made for that year, according to the IRS. So you are not over that $32,000 threshold. All right. Again, I'm not a tax expert. So if you are curious whether or not you should file taxes, whether or not you are required to, or how much money you potentially get back, go and talk to a licensed professional. All right. Now, there are some different things that you can you'll get back. Okay. So, if you have any charitable donations, you can get some of that money back. If you, again, I don't want to go into the whole list of stuff because, again, there are quite a few, breaks that you can potentially get. But just keep in mind, all right? Just keep in mind that if you are going to get any money back, you should file. Now, let's talk about people that are, again, that aren't technically over the age of 70 years old. If you are not married, okay, and you are at least 65 years old, again, this is why your age matters. If you are not married and you are at least 65 years old, your gross income, if it's more than $14,700, you have to file a tax return for this past year. If you are filing a joint return with a spouse who's also 65 or older, and your gross income is more than $28,700, you have to file a tax return. If you are filing a joint return with a spouse who's under 65 years old, you cannot make more than $27,300. Right? Now, one other question I know I get asked all the time, and I know I kind of already talked about this, but should I file a tax return if legally I don't have to? Well, here's the big question. First off, did you have to pay any taxes this year? Okay, did you pay? Let's say you made money from a job or interest or dividends, whatever. Did you pay anything? And if you did, right, did you pay any taxes on it? And if that's the case, would you get some of that money back? Keep that in mind, because there's a lot of people that will qualify for a tax credit for this year, right? Whether it's through earned income tax credit, whether it's through maybe a child tax credit. There's also a child independent care tax credit as well. So you could potentially get a bunch of different credits. So even though you may not be required to legally, in some cases you probably still should. Now, I know this video wasn't, I didn't give you a lot of insights as to oh, go and get this tax credit, go and do this. And again, I'm not a professional here, okay? But I do know enough that, and if you're going to get any money back from the IRS, from the federal government, you might as well go ahead and file your tax return so you can get some of that money. 2023 is going to be a difficult year. We've seen the cost of living adjustment for Social Security, it went up. But overall benefits, when you factor in SNAP benefits as well, for most people, they're going down. So don't expect 2023 to get easier. Expect it to get harder, which is why if you do qualify for any money back, you might as well go and get it. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one.